Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another Q&A for you, and this time I'm coming from a hotel room on a business trip, and got a couple of hours to spare in the hotel room, so I thought I'd make this Q&A. So hopefully you enjoy this video. I've got some great questions to answer, looking forward to answering them. Of course, if you want to see another Q&A, I'm going to need more questions. Don't forget to put some more questions in the comments box below. But let's get cracking straight on with the first question. So the first question is from the 40k Orcs. Now we'll put links to all of the channels in the description below, so don't forget to check them out as well. For everyone that's asked questions, thank you so much. So yeah, the 40k Orcs, he has asked, have you thought about picking a Star Trek attack wing up? Do you play any other Star Trek miniatures, miniature, roleplay or board games? I have thought about Star Trek Attack Wing, and although it does look very cool, I just don't have the time for it. I've pretty much said that before anyway about other systems and stuff. I just totally dedicated to 40k really, and I don't have time for anything else. I do have a couple of old school Star Trek board games, which are pretty cool games, but they're in the loft, more for collection really than actually playing them. Can't even remember what they're called. I remember one of them is like going from planet to planet, but I honestly can't remember the names. It's been a long time since I got them out. But yeah, that's the answer. Our next question is from Tabletop Banter. Thank you for your question. What is your proudest moment for the IDICBeer channel and also for Nick himself? Which is, that's a great question actually. So I'll start with the proudest moment for Nick, for me. I think anyone who's got children is going to come up with this answer, but yeah, the moment that my children were born, it's got to be the proudest moment of my life. So I'm going to stick with that answer. So I had 3 of those moments. I have 3 children. Proudest moment for IDICBeer channel. Now that is an interesting one. I've had many proud moments. I suppose one of the highlights was when, this is difficult, but yeah, I suppose one of the highlights has to be when I got a mention from Fritz on one of his videos. Not just a mention from Fritz, but I've been emailing Fritz, and he's been, I've been in conversations with him, and actually consider him a YouTube buddy as such, which for me is I'm very proud of, because Fritz was my inspiration for my channel, and to be able to consider him now a YouTube friend is awesome. So that's one of my proudest moments. But I think ultimately the most proud moment has to be when all the YouTube wargaming communities got together via Stephen Sayers on his channel, Dragonforge Studio, as it's now called. All the YouTubers got together, made little video clips for me, and Stephen put like a video together with everyone's clips put together. Total surprise, and everyone just like basically thanking me for the work that I've been doing in the community, and at the time it was the Help for Heroes project, etc. And that was a very proud moment, and really awesome to see all those video clips. So thank you everyone who made the clips, and in particular thank you to Stephen for organising that video, because that probably was my proudest moment for the channel, I think, really. Okay, next we're on to a question from Tactica Imperialis. Do you have difficulty explaining to people what your channel is about? In my experience, trying to explain 40k without confusing or boring the other person has to be rather tricky. I don't really have too much trouble, because generally I don't just come out and tell people. I mean, if people ask and I talk about it, then yeah, but it doesn't jump up in conversation for me straight away. But if I do, I usually just say I'm miniature wargaming channel. Most people seem to know what that is. To be fair, most people that I talk to say, oh yeah, I used to do like Games Workshop stuff, like when I was a teenager, 20 years ago. Most people seem to know about it, so I don't really have any problems, really, to be fair. And if I do, I just end up saying, like small toy soldiers that I paint and play with, and they say, oh yeah, a right geek. Next question is from Graeme Collin. Okay, here's a mad one for you. Which, out of all the iterations of the Enterprise or other Star Trek ships and stations, would you least like to have to clean the windows? Yeah, that is a mad one. Just trying to think of the biggest place, basically, so that's probably going to be Deep Space Nine. Probably take you a year to go and clean all the windows. So I'd say Deep Space Nine. madgolem. And welcome back to YouTube, madgolem, because I know you had a little spell away. It's great to have you back posting videos and commenting and stuff. So welcome back, buddy. It's good to see you. Right, why do Blood Angels always lose? Where is the mighty Sitting Bull, and is he alright? So start with that one. Yeah, where is the mighty Sitting Bull? For anyone who's probably quite new to my channel, may not know, but I made a tomb spider, which was like sitting down in a sitting down pose, and madgolem, quite a long time ago, a couple of years ago probably, he named him Sitting Bull, and it's stuck. He's absolutely fine. He's been out on the table a few times. A recent battle report actually I've had him out, so he's around, and he's doing well for the Necron still, so thank you for that. I'm sure they'd appreciate you asking how he is. Why do Blood Angels always lose? I assume you're talking about in my battle reports, not in general, because I'm sure they don't always lose in general. In my battle reports, I obviously play my buddy who has his Blood Angels army. He does have orcs as well, he doesn't play that so much. I suppose the truth is, basically, he's just not into the hobby as much as I am. So he enjoys it, and he does a bit of painting if he gets an opportunity, but he doesn't get much time for the hobby like I do. But I obviously make time for the hobby, and he doesn't really. He enjoys playing it, and he's been playing the hobby for a long time before me. Actually, he used to do Space Crusade, and it was just myself that got him back into the hobby. He's actually my ex-wife's ex-friend's husband, who got introduced, and at the time when I first met him, I was building my big Necron tomb, and I think he just got a bit inspired, and then we started playing once a week, and it spiraled there. But obviously I've got probably a bit more of a passion for the hobby, and being obviously more active within the hobby and YouTube, etc. I suppose arguably I've just become a slightly more all-rounded player over the years. We have good fun, we do enjoy playing, and I try to tone down my lists if I can when I play him, so that we, the game gets a bit closer. And you probably noticed that I've been doing things like random generating of lists, like my Necron bingo list, and I've been playing the Nidzilla list, which, although it's it's more of a fun list, I consider it. It's not very competitive. Taking models like the Toxicrane and walking Carnifexes with just scything talons and stuff. It's all pretty basic stuff. It works well, and it can be hard to kill against certain armies. But when he's got lightning claws, stern guards with lightning claws, not stern guard, vanguards with lightning claws, and just rip through my monstrous creatures and stuff. So I throw in sometimes a more competitive list, because I like to play those as well as more fun lists. So I like to mix things up. We have good fun, and although yes, it has been a very long time since he's won, again, we always enjoy it. So yeah. Tom the Ascendant. From what you've been saying, it sounds Star Trek is quite amazing. My unofficial question is, which film should I watch first? And my question for this video is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like each of the seasons? Spring, summer, autumn and winter. Okay, well, let's answer your unofficial question. Which film should you watch first? Assuming you know nothing about Star Trek, then you should watch the new films, the first one of the new films, because that is specifically designed to please A, Star Trek fans, and B, newcomers. So I think as a newcomer, that is the film to see. It's obviously got all the modern technology there. It's a cracking film, and I think you'd enjoy it. So I would say start there, really. I'd love to say, start with the older stuff, but to be fair, I think you'd be better off starting with the newer stuff. I think that's a good way to get you into it. Okay, the seasons, on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, so I am not a fan, I'm probably going to surprise you here, I'm not a fan of spring at all. It's my least favourite season. So I'm going to rate that as a 1. I hate spring. And the reason for that is you just don't know what the weather's going to be. You look out the window, it's sunny, you go outside, it's cold. So do I wear a jumper? Do I wear a shirt? Do I wear a coat? I hate that. Autumn's the same, really. Autumn's not quite so bad because it's just getting colder and colder and you just put more layers on. So autumn I'll probably give a 5. So give me either winter or summer. It's either hot or it's cold and horrible. Winter, you wear your coat. Summer, you wear a t-shirt. Easy, job done. So I'm going to have to probably make summer the better option. Although winter's pretty good because when you're painting inside, having the sun blaring into the window can be quite annoying. So, okay, I'm going to give winter my highest rating. I'm going to say 8 for winter, and I'm going to give summer a 7. There you go. Thanks for your questions. Mini Warzone, Pete. Can you tell me your experience of how Tyranids have changed from the time you first started playing them, looks and rules, etc.? Are they better now, worse, or about the same? Okay, well, I started playing Tyranids back in 4th edition, and I didn't have a clue how to play Tyranids back then. It was way before I got onto internet and what we do now. And I couldn't really win with them. In the old days, I couldn't win a game. I say the old days, pre-guessing my YouTube channel, basically. I've struggled, actually. I'm back in 4th edition. I seem to remember it used to be taking like minimum troops, taking the other bigger stuff. And I hear that Tyranids were really good back then, but I couldn't play them. I didn't have a clue how to play them. And then 5th edition came along. I'm going to have to be honest and say that I didn't really get comprehensive at playing Tyranids until Fritz got his Tyranids and came up with his null deployment hyper nid type tactics, and that really got me inspired. What I love about Fritz is he comes up with the ideas, he puts the ideas out there for you, and lets you develop from his ideas. And that's what I love about his channel. It doesn't just say, right, play this, play that, play this. It's like, what about this idea? And it gets you thinking about it. And then gradually over time, I built up my own way of doing things. So I have to thank Fritz really for where I am today with my Tyranids, really, I suppose. Okay. Have they changed looks? Oh wow, looks. There's no doubt that the new Tyranid models are way, way cooler than the old models. As probably you already know, I'm a big fan of old models. I love classic minis. But the Tyranid ones really changed dramatically, and there's absolutely no doubt the new models are way cooler. Rules are sort of, rules wise, that's a tough one. I mean, we've seen some nerfs on some stuff, like Carnifexes and stuff, where newer models like Morlocks and stuff have come in, and obviously GW wanted you to buy the newer ones, and the evolution, excuse me, the evolution of the codexes for Tyranny is exactly the same as all the other codexes, really. Worse or about the same or better? I personally think they're better. I think there's some fantastic units in there, but on the other side of the coin, there's quite a lot of units which are just mediocre. But like I said in my learning curve videos, that sort of suits the army. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much on about that because I'll probably be all day talking about Tyranids. Let's go on to the next page. So, Commissar Warwick. Question. Worst film you've ever seen? Well, I've had an all-time worst film for a very long time. But I would say it's recently changed. So my previous all-time worst film was, I can't even remember the name. I think it's called Rocketeer or Rocket Man. It's the film with Timothy Dalton in it. Someone going past the hotel room, very noisy. Which probably means they can hear me. They probably think I'm being very noisy. Anyway, the Rocketeer, Rocket Man, Timothy Dalton, that's all I remember. I remember it was so bad, I actually fell asleep in the cinema. Awful, awful film. But that's recently been overtaken by another film, and it's called The Tree of Life. I think it was Brad Pitt. Started off pretty boring, and then went to this like 20-minute landscape scene with music and like water and mountains, and literally just went on and on for like 20 minutes. It was an awful film. I have to be honest, we switched it off after like 20 minutes of that. I say we, me and my wife. We were watching it on DVD. Yeah, awful film. So, Tree of Life, Brad Pitt, I think, in there. If you've seen all of that film and you thought it was good, let me know. Because like I said, I have turned it off. I haven't watched all of it, which I know is a bit of a sin. But there aren't many films I've not actually watched all the way through before passing judgment. But that was one. Thanks for the question, Mr. Warwick. TheManiac. Here's a question. How do you manage to do the amount of videos you do? I burn myself out. Okay, so how do I do the video? The amount of videos? It's just down to planning, basically. I have like a little piece of paper. I'll write down the days, the month, and basically like a little diary, but I just put it on paper. And then I plan my videos ahead of what I'm going to put up. Now currently I don't put videos up on Wednesdays or Fridays, and that's because that's my days off, and I certainly don't have access to the internet at the moment at home. So you know, I don't want to have like a load of comments come through and stuff that I can't reply to, so I leave those two blank. So I upload 5 times a week, and it's just planning really. You know, I try and do a variety of different videos, and I play it again once a week, so I always record a battle report if I can. So that's like one video, and then I'll have like probably a couple of painting updates, maybe a tactical video like Material Learning Curve. I'll just plan it out, you know, so I've got a nice spread. So rather than having like Tyranid Learning Curve, then the next day Tyranid Learning Curve, next day Tyranid Learning Curve, I like to try to spread it out. So I say, right, a learning curve, and then I'll have a battle report, and I'll have a painting update, and then I sort of spread it so I get a nice variety, and then on my days off I just work out which ones I'm going to record. Of course I'm scheduled in, so I'm usually about a week in advance I'm scheduled in, so I have a little bit of a breathing space as well to making the videos and uploading them. So rather than like making a video and uploading it that day, mine are all programmed in. That makes life a lot easier as well. So it's planning, scheduling and enthusiasm to do it, I suppose, enjoyment to do it. So yeah, that's how I do it. Next question is from, I don't know if it can actually pronounce this, Frozos, maybe. And he says, if you were starting a new 40k army, what one would you pick? How about fantasy? I've really answered these, both of these questions in the past, so I'll just quickly answer them. Appreciate the question, thank you, but yeah, I have obviously answered these before. So if I started a new 40k army, it would probably be Dark Eldar, and the reason for that is in our gaming group, I've never seen Dark Eldar in action. That'd be pretty cool to play Dark Eldar. Fantasy wise, I would probably play Lizardmen, so I think they're pretty cool models, and I like Lizardmen. Next question is from E-TRON, aka NORT-E, I think. What is your favourite Star Trek ship? Also, what is your favourite unit from the new Space Wolves Codex? Okay, so I've answered the first question before. Again, it's the original series, Enterprise, has to be. Although I do like Voyager, but yeah, the original Enterprise. What is your favourite unit from the Space Wolves Codex? That's a tough one. From the new Space Wolves Codex. That's a tough one because I haven't really played it. I've only played Grey Hunters and Ragnar Blackmane. So I haven't really looked at the other units. What I'm doing is I'm painting the units. As I'm painting the units, I'm learning their rules and stuff from the Codex. So I haven't really looked at the others. Now obviously I've played the previous Codex. Thunderwolf Cavalry, you got to love them. Yeah, it's a tough one, that. I like Fenrisian Wolves. That's the Xenos in me. One reason why I went for Space Wolves is because of the little wolves. You know, Space Marines with wolves. How cool is that? So, favourite unit? Yeah, okay then, let's go for it. Just because of the Xenos in me, I'm going to say my favourite unit in the army is Fenrisian Wolves. And Thunderwolf Cavalry. The TheJankmaster. What is your most memorable 40k moment, good or bad? My most memorable bad moment is when my avatar went down to a grot. Yes. My Forge World Eldar avatar went down to a grot. Now I have to point out the grot didn't totally kill him, okay? My avatar was badly wounded. It was down to 1 wound. And I can't remember if this little grot shot him or assaulted him or something happened. It was a unit of grots, but it was just like 1 wound that got through, and I failed the save, and he died. And my buddy will not let me forget that his grot took down my Forge World avatar. So that's probably my bad moment. My most memorable good moment, and there are absolutely many, but I'm going to have to say my most memorable moment has got to be my recent game against Aceface. Because not only was it an awesome game, but I'm actually pretty proud of how I went about playing that game and ultimately beating Aceface. You know, a very, very competent tournament, competitive, cheesy player with that awesomely painted, very cheesy and nasty Tau army, and I beat him with little bugs. Yeah, I mean, I'm just proud of the fact that I managed to come up with something to counter his cheese, and it worked. It paid off. Yes, I got lucky with the objective cards. Ace got a bit unlucky with the objective cards. Yes, I rolled better than Ace did on the day, but beating him with little bugs against his massive Tau Riptides, 3 of them, 2 flyers, Staff Suits. Yeah, okay, I had 3 more locks. But no, I thought that's quite memorable for me, because having only really played it just a couple of people, you know, playing Ace, who I know is a very, very good player, and then you know, actually basically beating him, very memorable moment. It's not going to probably be quite the same in the next game we play, because I have a funny feeling I'm going to get absolutely slaughtered. But more to come on that soon. Okay, Victor Hughes. What would you like to see next in the Warhammer 40k world? Do you think Games Workshop will Sigmarise 40k? Would you like a simplification in the rules like the one happened in Age of Sigmar? Okay. I don't think Games Workshop will Sigmarise 40k. And I don't think I'd like to see a simplification of the rules. I think the rules are fine. It's good to have a game like that that's complicated. It's part of the fun, you know. The rules is part of the fun. I don't think they'll Sigmarise it, and the reason for that is I think Age of Sigmar does what it needs to do for GW. Give you a simplified game, a box set that can easily be picked up and played, and then I think 40k is maybe 40k is going to be their system that they keep as it is, as big and as complex and as far-fetching to people buying as many models as possible as they can. And it would seem, with all the release after release that we've seen, that models are getting bigger, they're getting bigger and better, and I just don't see them just all of a sudden Sigmarising it. Well, here's the 3-page rule book. I don't think it's going to happen myself. Okay, so coming up to the last question, and that is from Mammoth Painting Studio. Will we ever see a Nicutus versus Nicutus Deathmatch? And I already talked to Mammoth Painting Studio about this, because when his question came in, amazingly, it came in on my phone at exactly the same time that I was thinking about something, and that was that obviously I've got the characters on my channel, Nicutus, from my 3,000 subscriber competition. Now I know that obviously is a long time ago, but if you haven't seen that, particularly if you enjoy Star Trek, go and check it out, because it's that is probably also one of my other most proudest moments on YouTube. Is that series of videos, a video every day for a month, all set in the mirror universe. So I love that. So anyway, so yeah, I was thinking, you know, I might do like what's it called? The superhero things. Oh my god, I can't even remember what it's called. I was trying to think of League of Gentlemen, but that's not it. League of Heroes. I can't think what it is, but basically the film where all the superheroes get together. And do you remember when they used to release, like, say, Spider-Man, and right at the end of the Spider-Man, the credits went up, and then it gave you like a hint that there was another film coming that's going to have all the superheroes together. I was thinking, at the time that this message came through, how cool would it be in like 3 or 4 years' time? You know, maybe when I hit like a big landmark, like I don't know, 10,000 subscribers, I make a video with all of my characters in, with Nicutus in, with Nicutus in, with other future ideas that I've already got. Yes, I am planning my 5,000 subscriber subject already. I know it's a long way off, but it's so much fun. I have an absolute blast making those type of videos. So right, to answer your question then, is there going to be a death match? There will not be a death match, but don't be surprised in the far distant future to see some of my characters coming together in one video. How cool does that sound? I'm excited already. If you want to see that, get me up to 10,000 subscribers as soon as. And on that note, that is the end of the Q&A. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you've been painting and stuff whilst listening. It's always good to have something in the background on. Hopefully this was one of those videos. Okay, so that's it for this video. Remember, if you'd like to see another Q&A, I am going to need more questions. So please put those questions in the comments box below. Thanks for watching.